Hello. I would like to talk about the scenario that I have spent more time playing than any other scenario or save game in Transport Tycoon Deluxe, or indeed OpenTTD. And it's not Blue & Co. Despite the fact that that 1815 start series took about 50 hours of gameplay time. It's in fact one of the scenarios from the original Transport Tycoon Deluxe. And you can load those. If you have your game CD, you can load those into your OpenTTD scenario directory, and most of them will appear here, in play scenario, but a couple of them will not. A couple of them will appear as save games, because they were, indeed, exactly that. They were save games. And so there was Scotland 56. But more importantly, there was Megarail 1960. So I'm going to click load, but I just want to, the little point of order, say that other than the occasional check to see if you can still load scenarios, I have not really loaded this game to play with it for probably 20 years or so. So this may be a sudden overflowing of nostalgia as I click load. And oh, there we go. The desert scenario. So I've used a simple AI. So I set this up with simple AI, and hopefully you'll be able to see that these are all simple AIs of various types. I don't know why there are so many Inverville transports. Something has gone a little wrong there. But let us not worry too much about that. Breakdowns are on as well. This is a traditional vanilla Transport Tycoon scenario. So yes, this breakdowns will be on. So Megarail was, let's look at our own company, Megarail, was this fantastically impressive network at the time. And oh dear. Yes. What passed for impressive in 1995 was not quite what passes for impressive now. Really, with these sort of, Blue & Co. is a good example. That's not even a game that was played to be an incredibly impressive network, and that still topped out something like 800 trains. So here we have a paltry 23. The original maps were smaller, and the original game involved more micromanagement. There was kind of slightly harder to build the huge networks. You didn't have the tools that you have now. So this, in fact, other than this line up here, Coro to Tolkien on the passenger trains, this covers maybe like a quarter of the map at best. This is not really Megarail, is it? I think we might, in fact, call it OK Rail. And this is OK Rail. And the Mist Call is really over-egging it. I don't think that network is cool. This is going to be Mr. More fun than average. There we go. That's more accurate. So let's take a play around. Let's have a look. So this was included as an example of how everything can go horribly wrong. Everything here just jams up. It's a nightmare for just jamming this network. And yet, back in the day, this really was a sort of, for whatever you could do with block signaling and things like that. This was a real kind of example of how impressive a network you could make with the new kind of one-way signals and things that were in. So let's try to fix this up. I could just put path signals everywhere, and that would be one way of fixing it up. But I would quite like to leave this a little bit original. And so let us do that. Let us leave this a little bit original. And I realised one way in which this cannot be. Well, yes, I was going to tunnel that under there, but I can't really tunnel that under there. So how can we improve this? So this really needs to be, to work with block signals, this needs to be roll on, roll off. And this is a thing that when I was showing you this with path signals, if you watch my science video on how Roros and things should work, you may have seen that. Now, let's see if we can get this station extended a little bit out here. You may have seen that railroads are not actually the amazing superstation that they're made out to be, but that's probably because path signals are so effective. And these with the block signals, this really, is not going to work as well. So I'm going to get rid of the depot, get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to extend the station 1 tile up to here. Oops, it's not really very nice, is it? Oh no, I can't even extend that. So, well, we'll fix the station in a bit. Because what we're going to need to do is to bring this out around here. No, I don't even understand this network, really. No, I'm just building stuff for the sake of it. So that's going to have a block signal around there. And then this needs to come back round here. And these are... Oh, yes, this is going to be rather a faff. I thought I was going to be improving this, but actually no, I'm just making it worse. There we go. Let's have some Megarail. This will slow the trains down a bit, I think, but there we go. So this train can now leave. I think it'd actually make it skip. So I really feel a little bad because what I've done is I've just dived straight into trying to fix this without really explaining what's going on or why we even care about fixing this. So that needs some block signals there. That will need a block signal there. That's a little bit more deadlock free. We still have problems if trains try to get into there. And we need depots as well. So I can put the depot. I don't really have that much space to put to depots. Let's see if I can. Oh, that's mega freight. Okay, so. And that's an interesting problem. I can't remove the track from there because it belongs to Mega Freight. Well, let's put a depot here. The main line isn't that bad. So yes, in Megarail, what's the problem with Megarail is all of these flat junctions. It is just flat junction galore. I really want to be showing you the network, but I can't. I cannot bring myself to show you this network without fixing some of its most broken aspects, and even using sort of block signals. So yes, they're just building a bridge there, making that better, making this better. So I think that only needs to go that way and that way. I'm not sure now. Maybe I should study this better. So let's put that in there. Make sure that can get round there, and then I don't know. And what disasters can we bring upon ourselves by not doing this correctly? So that's got that there. Oh yes, we kind of need to bridges over here as well. Yes. So this I spent many years of my youth doing this with Megarail. And really, once I'd worked out that it wasn't the greatest network, that it had lots and lots of these problems. But the reason I spent so much of my time doing this with Megarail is because the Mega Freight's kind of in a really annoying place, aren't they? Yes, because I really want to build a bridge over that, and I can't. They didn't have room to build a bridge. Unless I make this a really bad turn. And making this worse. Making this so much worse. Right, now that fixes that. Now I can build a bridge over this company. So it's one of the reasons that I spent so much time playing Megarail was this was a great scenario that you loaded it up and it had a profitable network already in it. And you didn't have to kind of build anything to get you didn't have to figure out how to get started. And basically, it was just there. And so this made it very, very beguiling if you were sort of gosh, how old was I in 95? Like 12 or 13 or something. This made it very, very attractive. It's a scenario where you just kind of get started. You just do whatever you want to do and don't really worry too much about it. More of these stations here. So maybe we should fix them with path signals. Maybe we should update it into the modern era. Who knows? But yes, Megarail has its nice sort of thing. So it's got some sort of oil trains and things which come from down here. Let's optimize that turn. Let's make those go a bit faster. It's got sort of a little water network and things. So and this really is the bits that you kind of start with. You see is the main line here, which goes up to Magdalena and down to San Cristobal and here. Yes, and all of the trains here are kind of linked into this 4-track main line, which kind of works actually. It's not too bad. There's a few problems. So the ratings are pretty low. So up here, for example, this has maze trains, but then and nowhere near enough of them. So let's clone a couple of those. Look at these Wills 280s because this is waiting up here. I think it's just signalling distance. Yes. This station around here with the bank was really particularly bad too. This is at Costco Bank. We ended up with so much time kind of waiting for trains to around here. Let's just improve that. Let's make that a bit quicker. So yes, this indeed was Megarail. This scenario and had a few AIs in it as well. Who's created a mess. I've actually used simple AI for this, so use the AI which tries to emulate the original AI as much as possible. Yes, Megarail was great because it's a profitable company. I might repay the loan even more. No, it won't let me do that. And so you could experiment with things without that thing of having to go, how do I start? How do I build anything? How does this game work? And it kind of taught you the mechanics because you saw all of the ways in which the game can be made to work. There's a passenger train here which doesn't really make any money. Why did it not make any money? Well, it doesn't make any money. And now, do we have cargo distribution on in this game? Because yes, manual cargo distribution. Which means that there's no building networks. And there's just however many passengers. But the problem here is San Luis requires food. It's not really getting it. So there's a food processing plant here, which actually produces quite a decent bit of food. So what we could do is we could just sneak in there and steal that from the AI. Because I don't think they require that much food delivered. And then let's just they don't like me. Are they going to have to distance join something? Yes, let's do that. Let's I don't have station signs names. There we go. That's better. San Luis East. So I'm going to join that up to there. Just set up some road vehicles. Use that some underutilized food that's happening there. So what have we got food-wise? We still got the Foster food van of 1930s lorry. So this sets some food. Oh yes, we spent all our money repaying our loan. Yes, Megarail didn't really have any road vehicles. It was all railway transport, so yes. So there we go. So this now we have this can be improved here. So there's no reason for this to go across here in a flat junction. Except for that it needs to go in that direction. So yes, here is the joy of this game. So if we were to get rid of this bridge, and then we could make these bridges, and because this needs to go in that direction as well. And it's not the most amazingly well thought through network. This really isn't. It's it should have a bit more cache. That would help, wouldn't it? which is kind of weird, but that was kind of the standard of yes, this will need a slow corner defect just up here. So that was kind of the standard of things in the day. This was what passed for a really very good network back then. And I'm so used to doing path-based signals that I've forgotten this bridge now will be part of a signal block. So let's destroy the AI's road vehicles. That'll be fine. They won't mind. They can always replace them. The AI even aware it has road vehicles. And so yes, I get to bring that across here, and then this one, which also needs to be able to go here. And so that just needs to go pick up there. These old junction techniques as well. This kind of split before merge. This was a huge thing in sort of TTD patch days. And let's pop that in there, and then let's set that. And now these might be a problem too. These little tunnels, because I think they're a bit too long. Let's see, I've got 35,000, so I can probably afford to just chop that a bit. That was quite an expensive move, but the reason for it is it lets me have a signal here, which just sort of sorts that out, makes that not an entire block section. Okay, so that junction is kind of sorted. Let's remove the ways for trains to get themselves sort of lost and turn themselves around and mess each other up on that. And there we go. Why is that train waiting? Why has this all gone wrong? Why is this? Oh yes, because I never fixed the block signaling on that. There you go. Even in Megarail, which should just work. Though I still have utter chaos. Let's remove the station from there. There we go. So I actually made things worse. Ignore everything I do. So I can remove that, because that doesn't need to be a block section. So, now everything's going to break down. It's all annoyed because it's not really had a chance to have it self-service. So put a couple of depots there. That should help. And you are trundling off down there. Good or bad or whatever. Ooh, CS4000. If I didn't have an ongoing crisis, I could make use of that. So there we go. These trains, they're breaking down all over the place. They've been made to wait. This horrible blocked up network. So as you can see some of the problems with this network already, which is that just it doesn't really have much resiliency in it. And in fact, what we could do is we could start improving the resiliency, because this, rather than this having to come off here, this was sort of up at this level. And now this is not something you were ever able to do in Transport Tycoon Deluxe. It's a little bit of a cheat here. But I'm going to bring this up here. So I'm going to use this ridge up here to signal and fix this. Get rid of that. That's really going to cause some sort of train chaos. Okay. Yes, I'll just signal that across there. There we go. Look at that. That's sort of okay, a little bit better. Let's see how much does that slow down here. Oh, that does take a big penalty going around that single curve, doesn't it? So let's make that a double curve, so this isn't slowing down quite as much. And the same, so we can't really do the same story there because I put my stupid depot in the way. Let's get rid of my stupid depot. And there we go. Look at that. This is great. Oh no, there's another stupid station here. These are not too bad, actually. What we could do is we could go for, and let's pretend we're at least in the days of TTD patch, which probably the majority of my playtime with this game would have been in TTD patch, would not have been in... I would say that. Would it? No. Because I'm going back on myself here, because the TTD patch didn't come out from 3 years after Transport Tycoon Deluxe. I kind of was already an okay enough player that I could kind of do my own thing by the time TTD patch came out. So no, that's entirely wrong. I'm just advancing things needlessly. Because Bank. Now this is another one of these sort of stations where everything can block up and clog, because they solve that by just making it kind of for platforms. They just solved this in the original by going, well, you know, if you're arriving at this station, there's only so many trains that use it. So they're correct. There's actually slightly more, but most of them are unload. So it can go wrong, I think. Or is it? No, they're all unloads. There's one station train which loads, which is this train number 7, which is just relentlessly unprofitable because Sunderby isn't growing. It's over 48 days, it claims now. And so what we could do is we could set up a little bit of a transfer network. I'm just going to have a little bit of bustling here, and then maybe a bus station over here, and maybe a bus station covering here. Yeah, that will do. So since we've already got MPS Regal, what I'm definitely going to do is going to set it to go to there, and to go to Salou West, and then to go to Salou East, but to actually unload. To transfer and leave empty, so this train gets a few more passengers, which will compromise the profitability of the buses, but that will give the train something to do. So this hopefully will make the train a bit more profitable. And there, let's group those up. So this is sort of getting okay. Not really done that much with this yet. Let's make that entry and exit signals. And I'm just using the old path-based signal approach here. So the entry signal says that this will go red if both of these are red, and these exit signals, which means that trains will wait here good-naturedly rather than going and meddling around in this. I could use the escape depots and set up, but I think we didn't know about that in '95, so we're not going to go that far into the future. And so, yeah, so operating profit-wise, no, apparently everything I've done has been terrible for Megarail, but that's because I blocked the main line. Let's ignore that. Let's just pretend that never happened. So yes, that's not doing too badly. Let's have a look at this. So now, I should have known that relying on the AIs to provide, and no, that we're providing stuff as well. We're not relying on the AIs solely for this. So let's go have a look. So what? Yes, I'm reading properly. Heading back up, they can a little bit help it. What I want to look at is the stations. So Megarail really has a lot of not very highly rated stations. And let's close this water train. So let's add another water train. There's plenty of space for trains to wait there. It also has a lot of problems with vehicles not servicing on time, by the look of it. We should probably go fix that. What is the servicing interval on this? 150 days. It should be fine. And they should service okay. Dude, I don't know why they don't. Let's put some depots in. I can't even put some depots in because the train can't go for long enough without breaking down. I want to put a depot there because that's... Oh, yes. Well, I kind of have to. This thing just so desperately needs a service. 24 since the last service. Yes, the last service a year ago. So please make it there. Make it there. And stop breaking down on me. No. I mustn't do that. No. Come on. You can service. But is that going to also be a problem for this one? That's only been serviced fairly recently, so that's not so bad. This is just horrific because it hasn't been serviced in, like, ever. And so therefore it wants to well, just break down. It's running on, it doesn't even have oil in it. It's just sort of pistons grinding on bores. You're nearly there. You're so nearly there. Come on, little Megarail train. Let's get you in there. This is high stakes OpenTTD playing here and watching this train slowly break down on its way. Will it go? Will it go? Oh, no. 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 Poor train. It's just never going to get into that depot for its service. It's running on. This is like where someone's cranking it along on the starter motor because the actual engine doesn't work anymore. And now it's refreshed. It has. Someone's taken some of the oil from the back of it and used it in the engine. Possibly. Those would be completely different type of oils, and that would work in the slightest. And if you put crude oil in your engine trying to lubricate it, bad things are going to happen. Suddenly, mine ratings. What's diamonds? Ratings are poor. We don't think there's very good diamond service. So let's see if we can clone that. They don't have enough money. Ooh. Oh no, that's fine. That will pass the signals into the other block. I just wanted to make sure that would work. Okay. Then maybe to make a bit more loan. Let's at least get this. So part of the problem with Megarail as well is they do use these tiny trains for everything, and they're very short train lengths, and it kind of is good in some ways, but it does make them very, very expensive. And why is that facing the wrong way and broken down? I feel I have worsened things. I feel that I've just all I have done is interfere with Megarail and worsened things. And so that's trying to go to San Cristobal well. So this is turning around as well. This is something that, yes, things loved doing in Transport Tycoon Deluxe original Pathfinder. They assume this game is loaded with some of the same signalling settings. It's just always turning round at the worst possible moment when you kind of didn't want them to. That can't really be fixed. That's all just clogged up there probably with the breakdown. When I used to play this back in the 90s, I used to just, in a fit of pique, would just turn breakdowns off because they cause so much chaos. And there's still some argument these days, should you or shouldn't you play with the breakdowns? Is it good gameplay or not? That kind of thing. It depends. I have various moods. I don't like it for my really complex network games. I feel it just gets annoying, but something like this, maybe it adds a little dimension of fun. And this route with the pink, which is pink, and this mega freight ink, and I don't know why these have come up with, these have got the wrong names. I don't know whether that's something crazy that Simple AI has done. But mega freights, ink, I seem to recall we used to save up money to buy them because they had some quite good routes and they were quite profitable, but also they were kind of in the way. And that's where my playstyle, which you may have seen, where I buy AIs and I mess with them. And that was kind of that nascent playstyle came up in the early mid-90s with Megarail 1960. And San Luis, how's that doing? So it's actually growing less frequently, but the problem with this train is just that it's full loading. Now, what this really should be doing is actually, we're going to cheat a bit here because this should be running on a timetable. I'm not going to do it. It's too much of a cheat. We may as well just blast path signals everywhere if we're going to put this on a timetable. And that's not right. But yes, part of the problem is that this train is just to clone it. No, I don't want to clone it. And yes, it goes over to San Luis. Well, actually, what we could do is we could keep it full loading. But what we could do is we could put some buses into Cusco, which needs food. And that's a thing. Now, It wouldn't grow. It's not going to grow. Maybe that would be nice. Maybe what I would do with this is, now that I've seen Megarail, now that I've gone back to it, and I've realised what a world of horror it is, that this side work. These trains must work. No, they don't make any money either. It's all just rubbish. All just rubbish. May as well close down the passenger network. It just doesn't work. Yes, what I might like to do with this is, maybe we won't make this a long series, because that feels like it just frustrate and annoy, but maybe we will revisit Megarail from time to time and have a play with it and see if we can make it work, see if we can bring it up into the modern era, fix some of these horrible junctions and things like that. So let me do that. But until then, I shall see you in a future video.